Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all genders, it is I, the Rev Dude, coming at you live from Riverside. And today is a very, very, very special podcast because it is not the Rev's High podcast and it is not JJ's Rainbow Rumble. It is both. Woo! Both. And you might be asking, why in the world would they be doing both? Boop. Because we have an extraordinarily special guest today. We are actually recording this the day before because we want to make sure that we have everything exclamated, said out loud about this wonderful, special, amazing guest that we are going to have. We are very excited. As always, the Rev Dude coming at you with my trusty sidekick, the gecko with no name. I'm just kidding. It is my lovely daughter, JJ King, her ESSA, Shani, and, as always, the gecko with no name, which hopefully sometime soon we're able to...
what no name did to Shani.
Right. What we are hoping to do, hoppy hoopy hoopa hoppa, hoping to do very shortly is to get a name for this guy. Sister Selena, we're coming for you. You gotta get a name. We need your help. Please, Selena. Please, Selena. Please, Selena. Please, Selena. Please, Selena.
Stop.
We will see her later this week, and we hope to get a final name for this little rapscallion. So, enough with the shenanigans.
Just kill Shannon.
Shenanigans.
Stop.
Enough for the nonsense. We are very excited. We have one half of the MLW Tag Team Champions. He is a two-time, currently he holds 2 world titles on the independent scene. He is the one and only Donovan Dijak. We're going to say that when he's here. So, we are very excited. We are very honored. We are very blessed. This gentleman has as you would understand, he has a very limited time window. So unlike the regular episodes where maybe, JJ talks for 20 minutes or so and I get the other 3 hours because I'm a big blabbermouth and I go for 14 days.
You do.
Blah, 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 blah. This is going to be a total episode of maybe 45 minutes at best. But I wanted to come on, explain that to you, the audience, give you that understanding that because he is a man of high demand, let's be honest. I mean, this guy's done so many things in the professional wrestling industry. We are super blessed and honored to have him on the show. We are doing this right now, and then we're going to do the whole interview with him. For the audience, it'll be very shortly. For us, it'll be in a few days. The whole idea is that I wanted to have a great introduction for him, so when he shows up with his limited time, we just jump straight into it. Right now, we have 5 questions set up for him, possibly 6, depending on time and answers. The entire conversation has been sent over to him, so obviously he can answer however he wants. He's Dijak. Who's going to tell him no? All right? But if we have the time to ask a couple more questions, we'll throw it in there, right? If he's like, hey, you know what? Time opened up. I can spend an extra 5 minutes with you. We will be prepared. However, I just wanted to make sure we jumped on bright and early. For realistically speaking, if you are watching this either on YouTube or Spotify, coming up very shortly, we're going to actually have a quick little series of highlight clips from all the different footage we've taken of him over the past 6 months or so, and going to different shows like Chaotic Wrestling mostly, I want to say. BST, he's a BST champion. He's an MLW champion. I'd love to go to MLW. That would be phenomenal, especially because we can see our good buddy Rich Palladino, the GOAT. The GOAT. And I don't just say that. Like people say, oh, you're just blowing smoke. I am not blowing smoke when I genuinely think Rich Palladino is the GOAT. I know JJ agrees with me. I literally do not, and you could come at me, bro. You could tell me every WCW, WWF name in the book, Howard Finkel, etc. In my personal opinion, Palladino's better. End of sentence. I don't give a shit if he's from. I don't give a shit if they are the current person, if they are a past person. I don't care if they were in the WWF for 20 years like Finkel. Palladino's better. In my opinion, I've seen him in so many shows from so many different companies, and he's absolutely incredible. Palladino's the GOAT. So would be lovely to see Palladino do an MLW, right? It'd be great to see MLW. There's an opportunity when we go to MLW. We do hope this is going to be airing in 2026. We do hope to go to BST in 2026. There are a couple of promotions that, Limitless. JJ has yet to go to Limitless. There are a bunch of promotions in the New England area that both myself and, for various reasons, both myself and JJ have yet to be able to attend shows together. Fight Life. I'm really I really want to go to Fight Life January 11th. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't think JJ can go with me because it's so far away. And if I go by myself, she'll kill me. Honestly, it feels super weird. Can I just say that for the record? Because I love you guys. And so many wrestlers and other people come up to me and they're like, "You're here by yourself? Isn't it weird for you?" Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you for reminding me how weird it is. It is very weird for me to go to a wrestling show now and not have JJ by my side. It is super weird. It is super awkward. It's not as fun. It's just not. I love my daughter very much and I love the fact that she goes to everything with me. And it's super weird when she's not there, especially when it's normally me and you in a circle with a group of wrestlers talking about stuff and they're just looking at the area where JJ should be and they're like, what's going on, bro? Like you have for the wrestlers like Drew Gulak that I've disappointed by showing up without my daughter. Shout out to Drew. Literally, I went to a Focus Pro show. Focus Pro, we love you. We went to a Focus Pro show, and I went up to Drew and gave him a sticker, and he just looked at me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know, dude. I'm sorry." You had a birthday sleepover party, so you missed a show, and you had a great time with your friends. A great time with your friends. But Focus Pro loves you and Focus Pro missed you. Yeah. And Drew Gulak was like, "Where's the kid?"
Focus too.
So, shout out to Focus Pro. Chaotic guys are the same way. I've gone without her and they're like, "What are you doing?" This is kind of weird. I went to obviously Beyond Wrestling Open. I went to the Wrestling Open on Thanksgiving without her. I went to Beyond Wrestling on Christmas without her. And once again, everybody's like, it's an elephant in the room. I get it, right? Same thing with some friends of ours that normally go with their kids. I won't name names. Didn't get clearance, but they're super cool people, and they've gone a couple times without their kids, and they're like, "It's weird, dude. It's weird." I'm like, listen, thank you for saying that. Someone's got to say it. It's weird. We love who we love. What are you gonna do? And I love the fact that the wrestlers are like so excited to see JJ, so excited to have me there, but they're also like, "Where's your sidekick? We want her. Like, where is she?" Right? Obviously, if she showed up without me, that might be a little weird. They're like, "Why the hell did this 13-year-old kid just get here by herself?" Like, I might be a little concerned. They might be messaging me on Instagram like, "Bro, where are you? Like, why is your daughter here by yourself?" At least I would assume some of them would. Shout out to Mike and Katie. We love you guys. I'm sure they'd be like, we're in the frickin' French toast as your dad, bro. Like, we're in the frickin' French toast as your dad. I realized I said bad words earlier. We have to cut out since it's supposed to be a G-related general audience. I know. So, once again, yada, yada, yada nonsense. Very excited. This is just the opening. For anybody who is listening to this on Apple Podcast, you're going to miss the little montage. I don't know how long it's going to be yet. I haven't put it together. I'm going to be honest with it. I have plenty of footage of him wrestling that I made on my own. I just want to, make something fun and slap it together and throw it on there. For anybody on YouTube or Spotify, you're going to be seeing very shortly a little montage. And then after that, you will be seeing us again in slightly different outfits or whatever we're going to be doing. Yeah, you do. So but just to people be like, what happened? We wanted to make sure that when we get the opportunity to talk to an amazing superstar, and I do mean superstar, like Donovan Dijak, he gets all of the floor time. Right? And that's not hard that's not easy for Mr. Never Shuts the Hell Up over here. So I'm gonna have to be like, ask questions. So it's going to be great. I know what she's doing. She's giving me the face. But once again, any last words there before we jump off? Nothing at all from my co-host and her co-hosts and my cohorts and the 14 monkeys we're carrying around. So once again, we love you guys. We are going to be seeing you very shortly. And I hope you are just excited as we are to have Donovan Dijak part of the podcast. Once again, see you soon.
It feels so damn good to be back home in chaotic wrestling. Feast your eyes on the Dijak hijack of this entire damn show. I've been proving week after week after week that I am the best damn wrestler on this entire planet, and I'm damn sure the best wrestler in all of New England. I am the king of New England, and the king needs his rightful crown, and that crown, everybody in this building, everybody in this country knows that you have to wear chaotic championship gold to have that crown on your head. I deserve it. I've earned it year after year after year, proving why I'm the king, and I'm going to make sure that tonight that happens. I'm going to earn that championship. I'm going to show everyone here that I deserve it, and I'm going to stand in this ring and I'm going to make sure. I don't know how close all you were paying attention when I walked out here, but I had quite a bit of hardware on my belt and my hands. My quest, my destiny is to be the pinnacle, the top of New England professional wrestling. The only thing that's keeping me from that spot belongs right here. in chaotic wrestling. Something that I used to own, and I'm going to own one more time in my career before I'm done.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all genders. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special crossover episode of the Revs Hype Podcast with JJ's Rainbow Rumble. We are your hosts today. As always, I am the Rev Dude, coming you live from Riverside, alongside my beautiful daughter, JJ King. She has her incredible ESSA, Shani, aka Shannon Levangie Jr., and her special friend and trusted sidekick, the Gecko with no name. And he made sure to wear his tie today as well. Just looking snazzy. Good job. Good job, Gecko. All right. We are your hosts today, and we are honored. We are privileged. Very excited. All right. We are joined by a very special guest. He is one half of the MLW World Tag Team Champions with Bishop Dyer as the Skyscrapers, the Rebel Spirit Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the Blood, Sweat, Tears Wrestling Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes, Donovan Dijak. Woo!
Hello, how are you? It's great to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Dijak, for being here today. We are so excited to have you. We are so humbled. We are so honored. And since I'm an old man, I've been watching your stuff a lot longer, of course, than some people, right? And it's always been so wonderful to see you at shows in New England. So it's been honestly a bit surreal, to be quite frank with you. Saw you on TV for so many years, and all of a sudden, poof, there you are in Tewksbury at a haunting. And it's just like,
Right.
holy crap, it's Dijak. This guy's amazing. So to have you on the show today is a dream come true for me, to be quite frank. It's a dream come true. So thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, fun fact I wanted to point out to all of our fans, Dijak was actually the very first wrestler that JJ posted on her Instagram when she started her very own channel in October. I know that a ton of wrestlers wanted to be first, but Dijak, you got to be number one. So, because we love you, right? So
Very honored. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
right.
Was I doing anything cool or what? What was it a photo op? Was it a picture with you?
Yeah, so the first time she got to meet you was in Tewksbury. I want to say it was October 5th for the Haunting in Tewksbury show.
Yeah, sure.
And
That
it was
sounds right.
pretty cool. It was pretty cool because we came in to do a photo op and you handed her the MLW title, right? The tag
Yeah.
title.
Sure.
And you took the little gecko. So you were holding the gecko very proudly, very excited. You seem very excited to
Yeah.
hold the gecko.
Absolutely.
And,
Everybody is.
right? Very excited to hold the gecko. And she got to hold the MLW title, which I honestly had to be low-key jealous. Just like, oh my God, she got to hold the belt. Right? I was a little low-key jealous, but it was a great
Sure.
picture. And after we took that picture, she was like, this guy's got to be first. If we're
Yeah.
gonna post pictures,
Thank you.
Dijak's got to be first. It was almost a no-brainer. So I'm happy that we had that same thought process when it came down to it. I was just like, come on, it's Dijak. He's got to be first.
Thank you very much.
Right. It was perfect timing. Once again, and we've seen you at shows, a couple of shows here and there, and
Mhm.
you're always so gracious and let us chew your ear off about nonsense. So we appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're big fans.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's absolutely an honor to be the first post on your Instagram. Thank you very much.
So, as I like to say, the house cleaning part, today's podcast is proudly sponsored by my nonprofit organization with services launching soon. Our mission is simple but powerful: to normalize conversations around mental health, especially the struggles society often treats as taboo. So, just a little information for you, sir. I went through a bunch of emotional struggles myself after a car accident.
Mhm.
And myself, I would say many of my personal heroes, guys like Anthony Bourdain, Jason David Frank, Robin Williams, they all unfortunately took their life, right?
Mhm.
My brother, he was one of my biggest heroes. He unfortunately passed away from substance abuse. And I realized in those moments that as a society, we don't do enough for changing the normal, right? So my podcast is actually not necessarily just about professional wrestling, but exploring the mental health and the life of the guest.
Okay.
So that's what mine is.
Sure.
JJ gets to ask the more fun questions. So
Okay.
in regards to today, we normally have on the same guys. We actually got to have a couple of weeks ago. We get to have your New Year's Eve opponent, Jack. He was on
Awesome.
he was on the podcast with us, and we got to talk about his excitement to get to wrestle you at New Year's at Heavy Lights the Crown, of course,
Sure.
with Beyond Wrestling. So he was very excited. I was very excited for him. You know, you are such a great human being in general, like the way you talk to people. But then as a worker, I mean, I know I don't have to say this, and I'm not trying to blow smoke here, but like you do some incredible things in the ring for a man your size. So the idea that someone like Jack, who's only technically been wrestling for 12 months, got to wrestle you at one of the biggest shows of the year, like, come on. For me, it goes to show how amazing and incredible you are as a person, that you're here in New England and you're giving back to everybody else.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, no, I had an absolute pleasure wrestling Jack. I think he's unbelievably talented. That whole night was just a wonderful experience for myself and for the fans. And he's from Worcester. I bill myself from Worcester. I'm not actually from Worcester. I'm from Lunenburg, Massachusetts, which is I just kind of decided one day. I think when I first started NXT in 2017, I think I decided I'm like no one's gonna know where Lunenburg, Massachusetts is. So I picked the biggest city about 20 minutes from me. And yeah, that's so but I'm pretty sure he's actually from Worcester. So
Right. Yeah.
so unequivocally the future of professional wrestling in Worcester is starting with that kid. So I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm sure he's going to be paying attention because I told him you were going to be on the podcast. So he was like, I got to come back and watch that. There was a couple of guys
Okay.
like we had the handyman Jake Gray. I had a Julius Strager. So we've had a couple of people from the Beyond Wrestling Open universe. So when I told them that we were able to land this, they were very excited for us and very excited to watch it.
Awesome.
It's very, very exciting in general. We've been rewatching once again Shannon Levangie Jr. here, Little Shanny.
Mm-hmm.
Your matches with Shannon, in chaotic wrestling.
Yep.
Obviously like the 4-way between you, Chase, and Armani Chaos. You really, Shannon trying to pick you up and everything, like.
She didn't try, she succeeded. She's a very strong girl, yeah.
She picked you up, like, and what was crazy was the next day she had Rad Pro Wrestling as Eyeless, and the two of us were discussing the idea of Shannon Levangie versus Eyeless, who would win. And JJ kept bringing up, well, she picked up Dijak, so I think she's good. Like,
yeah, I
think she's good, man. Like, she's good. She's all set. And I was like, mind blowing. That was an incredible match. So
valid points. Thank you.
Yeah, in the match you just had with Mortar, right? Seeing you go off the top rope a few times, woo!
Yeah,
I was like, man, or going over the rope, onto the floor, catching him with the choke. It was great. For anybody else who's like, what is this guy talking about? I just made a 6-minute highlight reel. Go ahead and watch it on YouTube or Spotify. If you're on Apple Podcasts, you missed the highlight reel. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Go watch it on YouTube. All right, I guess we could get started. JJ, awesome. You got the first question.
Did you like the Christmas card we gave you?
I did, yes, very much so. Thank you very much. I don't have the pleasure of receiving a ton of Christmas cards from fans. I get a ton from my family. So the few that I do get from fans at shows are always very meaningful to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's so great to hear. We made one for a lot of the wrestlers. Some we may or may not have forgotten to bring on the holiday hijack, to be honest. But I'm always it's always so exciting to see like how, when we hand you the card, you seem super excited to receive the card. There's just, it's like you guys are a part of our lives. Like, you may not necessarily be family in the same way that, you got kids, right? And moms and dads or whatever. But we see you 2 or 3 times a month. Yeah. We try to support you as much as we can. I mean, this didn't come from the sky. For anybody listening, go on What's Not and purchase beautiful, wonderful items from Donovan Dijak, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
So, I mean, and I can say this, in the next week or so, I'm actually going to be going down to Nepwa and signing up full time, giving them the money.
Awesome.
So, so kind of initiate, not to think that I'm going to be some super awesome, amazing superstar like you someday, but I just want to work for the company. I don't care if I'm getting water, or setting up rings. I just want to be I want to be part of the family. So
Okay.
she wants to be Shannon Levan. She's merch girl.
When did I say that?
So it's great to be, to feel like we belong somewhere. So
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I train Wednesday nights at the school, so if you ever happen to have a free Wednesday night, you can join my class. The beauty of professional wrestling is that, obviously uh there's pieces of it that are, very athletically focused. It's not the be all end all, right? It's not the determining factor, right? There's all sorts of variables that go into the success of a professional wrestler. So I would strongly encourage you not to just count yourself out before it even starts, because the true reality of professional wrestling is that if the timing is correct, anyone can have a wonderful, successful run on any level of the professional wrestling business. Of course, there's some things that will assist in that process,
Right.
like if you are very young or very in shape, or if your father was a famous professional wrestler. There's all sorts of things that help that
Right.
journey. But that being said, some very strange things have happened in the world of professional wrestling, and most of it is about timing and demand. So don't count yourself so short if you're about to begin your professional wrestling journey. There's always the possibility.
Right. No, I appreciate that advice. Definitely look forward to seeing you on Wednesday nights. I would say I've been able to do 2 guest spots for the Wrestling Open, one on Thanksgiving and one on Christmas, as guest ring announcers.
Cool.
The the electricity I feel while standing in that ring is like no drug ever could give you. And
Yeah.
to be fair, I've never done any drugs in my life, so I really can't compare it too much.
Me neither, but I use the same analogy. I suspect from all the pain I endure and the addictive qualities that I feel about professional wrestling, that there's at least a fair amount of parallels there between a drug addiction and the actual art of being a professional wrestler, because I do it in spite of all the
Right.
the difficult parts. So
Right.
yeah, I think that's a fair analogy.
There you are. Perfect. I appreciate that. Because, I
Yeah.
just, saying, just announcing and being in that ring, and just, I felt like at home. I don't know how better to put it in than I feel at home when I get in that ring. So to be a lifelong wrestling fan, I've been watching it literally since I was born. My father had me watching WWF WrestleManias when I was born early. Like, I've watched nonstop wrestling for the last 40 years, and to finally like get in there and be like, feeling that electricity. Maybe I probably should have done it 20 years ago when I was younger, right out of the army, right? But I was a young dad who had a wife and a kids to handle, so I haven't had time to do me yet. Now I finally get some me time, and luckily
Sure.
my wonderful daughter also loves professional wrestling. So I got
Good.
to bring her with me, so it's pretty great. So very excited, very excited.
Yeah, that is exciting.
My first question for you, and this is something
Okay.
that I've watched with the there's a great match. It's also fun to see Rich Palladino. It's got to shut that guy out because I love Rich Palladino. But it was like watching MLW, watching you against the Good Brothers. That was great.
Yep.
You and your tag partner have been dominating the MLW tag division for months. However,
Yes.
separately, your partner Bishop Dyer has been dominating, winning gold medals in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
You have not only one, but 2 world championships in your hand. You have been challenging for more, chaotic wrestling, of course, and going all around New England, coaching, as we discussed, and at various wrestling schools, right?
Yes.
My question is, how proud of you of what you and your partner have accomplished, both in the ring together and separately on your own journeys?
It's an unbelievable testament to, first of all, to his work ethic, right? Because he's achieved some things that I've never even dreamed about doing, right? In terms of his accomplishments in first a long time ago, forever ago in boxing, and then in the NFL, he was a very successful football player, and then now he's transitioned into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where he's just an unbelievable athlete, significantly better athlete than I have ever been, which is kind of funny when you watch us wrestle because I do the more quote unquote athletic things, but it just goes to show you that a lot of that is just kind of like parlor tricks as opposed to like actual athleticism, where he is a significantly better athlete than me. He's much stronger than me, much quicker than me. His reaction and reflexes are obviously much better than mine. So we complement each other, extremely well in the ring. I think the tag team was a genius creative idea by Court Bauer. I think it's going incredibly well. I love tagging with him. I hope that we can do it more and more frequently and all over the world, because I think that's the kind of pairing and the kind of treatment that pairing deserves in terms of the viewership of it. And I'm just super excited about it. In terms of what I've done, I'm very proud of what I was able to accomplish in 2025. Specifically, I think I haven't compared numerically, but I know I wrestled 102 matches in 2025. I don't know if that's the most I've ever wrestled in a year, but it's up there. There's the possibility that in 2016 I might have eclipsed that. But I haven't gone back and counted, but it's definitely a feather in my cap. I wrestled in 10 countries last year, which was that by far is the most countries I've ever wrestled in. I've got some more lined up already for 2026, and it's all just very exciting. I want to continue trending in that upward direction. I'm going to do it, hopefully in both a singles capacity and the tag team capacity with Bishop Dyer, because I'm super excited for what we have moving forward.
See, and that's all wonderful to hear because, I mean, personally, I've really enjoyed your tag with him because you guys just mesh so well together, and you're out there. And it's funny you said it because you are normally the one doing more of the bigger moves and stuff. So, and it gives it such this wonderful edge, and then the tag matches are always just so good. Certainly low key have been wanting to take JJ to an MLW show for sure, but it's
tough. I wish there was more in New England, especially since we have so many New England talent on the roster. Unfortunately, the closest that we've come so far since I've been there is New York City, which is a bit of a hike.
Right.
I do it quite frequently, though. I drove to New York City and back on Saturday for a signing. I just left at 8 in the morning and then got back to put my kids to bed at 8 p.m. Long day, but
right.
It is doable. Unfortunately, the MLW shows, I think, start at 7 or 8 p.m., so you probably wouldn't get home until 2 a.m. or something like that, which would be not so great.
No.
But yeah, no, hopefully there's something in New England coming up in the future, because that would mean a lot to me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely, if there's anything that ever happens in New England, we're going to be there front and center, probably first in line for sure. Love to be there for that.
Yeah.
Especially just, she hasn't seen a lot of your tag partners work on, previous to that. And he was so good. He had one of the most protected finishes in the company for the longest time. So I think she would really dig in. Certainly, we've definitely talked. I've talked a couple of times about going down to New York, like the Long Island area, especially, and just sleeping there. And we actually kind of made some plans just in case. One of my favorite all-time entertainers was Andy Kaufman. He's actually buried down in Long Island. So I would have to make a pit stop to see Andy Kaufman for sure.
Sure.
I've branched out on my own a few times. In September, I went to Philadelphia and saw HOG wrestling and AEW at the ECW arena. So but it's always weird going without her. It feels weird for sure. It's better.
I believe it. Yeah.
So it's always better with her, but sometimes she can't, go there. So
sure.
But we've definitely thought about it. And I want to say New Japan is actually coming to New Jersey in like April or something. So definitely.
Oh, really? I thought New Japan stopped their United States endeavors, but I'm hopeful that that's accurate, because I think that that's a great thing for the entire pro wrestling industry.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. But maybe I'll be wrong, and I'm going to Google it later now to make sure. But
yeah, for sure. Double check on that. I don't know.
They were going to be in New Jersey in March or April of 2026. So I was very excited for that, because I'd love for her to see some of that stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So My next question here is, you've wrestled in environments with very different expectations and creative structures.
Mhm.
How has navigating those spaces shaped the way you now define success for yourself as a performer?
Oh, wow. That is a great multi-layered and multifaceted question. Yeah. So I assume you're sort of alluding to like the variances between, the WWE structure and expectations, or maybe like another television company. Like when I was with Ring of Honor, that was a television company at that point,
Right.
and how that sort of dictates, what success means as a performer. So obviously there's a lot of different, like I mentioned, a lot of different levels to that. At the end of the day, the one constant as a performer that you want to keep your eye on is financial, right? Because if this isn't your focus as your full-time job, then you're gonna lose the plot quickly, right? And that's not to say that when you start you're doing it for money. That's not what I mean. But I mean it's a piece of the puzzle in terms of like consistency and growth that you want to monitor, because otherwise you're going to get lost in your own hype, right? You're going to get lost in your own mind, because if you go by other metrics, which are other things that you do want to monitor and keep an eye on, but not in the number one spot. Because I'll give you an example, right? So if I say, oh, well, championships are my goal, right? That's something that's out of my control, right? I can't do anything about that. I can hope for them and I can pitch for them and request them and things like that, but it's not something that I can work hard to do, right? This
Right.
isn't LeBron James in the NBA. I can't
Right.
work really hard and then win a championship. That's just not how it works. There's all sorts of different variables that come into play. So it's something I want to keep my eye on, and I want to work towards that, because I understand that dictates success in both my eyes and in other people's eyes. But it can't be the be all end all, right? Having good matches, right? This is another thing that I want to keep a close eye on in terms of measuring my success and where I am in my career and how I want that to go, right? But again, it's pro wrestling, so it's subjective. So what's good to me might be bad to you, it might be mediocre to her, right? So that becomes an interesting variable to measure as well. So you almost want to look intrinsically and say, like, did I enjoy it? Did I have fun? Is it something that I enjoy watching back, right? These are all things that I use to determine my level of success, right? A big one is, am I having fun, right? Which used to be much closer, if not the highest part on the list. But now you got to consider, and you understand this as a father, that this is my primary source of income for my share of the household, and I have 2 children. So
Right.
that takes precedent over, am I having fun, right?
Yeah, of course.
as I'm sure you can understand, like
I got 3
it's great,
kids.
it's
I
great
get
if you're having fun. It's less fun for your family if they can't eat dinner, right?
exactly. Exactly.
So that's now we start to establish the priorities in life, and those things change when you have children, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, in terms of the way that sort of WWE influenced that, and now MLW, and the way Ring of Honor used to influence that, right? Is that there is this bit of a premium that's placed on like character success, for lack of a better word, right? Like they instill that a lot. They go, oh, you're doing really well right now, so we're gonna compensate you for that, or you're not so hot right now, you need to work on that. And a lot of that is like you take that and you say, okay, I understand that on the one hand, like a lot of that is out of my control, right? Because this is a lot of these things are given to me and I'm just doing the best I can. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, how can I influence that, right? What can I do to contribute to making it so that that trends in a better direction as opposed to where it is at this point, right? Or that if it's going well, that it keeps continuing to trend in that direction, right? So pro wrestling's a tricky subject, right? I wish it was as cut and dry as it is in other sports. And I did play other sports for a long time. And in other sports, it's, hey, you either practice and get good and win, or you don't, right?
Yeah.
Either you didn't
Yep.
practice enough, or you didn't get good enough, or you're not good enough, or whatever it happens to be. And that's the metric at the end of the day. You're either this good or you're this good. And if you're this good, you need to be this good, right? It's that simple. Pro wrestling's not that simple. Pro wrestling is a much, much, much more subjective beast. So yeah, there is definitely an element that varies between levels, and intrinsically how I observe my own level of success. But yeah, it's a tricky subject for sure.
Right. And that's one of the things that, especially being a lifelong pro wrestling fan, that I know that non-wrestling fans don't understand, right?
Mhm.
they don't understand the nuances. They don't understand the idea that there are no two wrestlers that have the exact same journey, right?
Right.
There's no factory where you just go and get in the factory and you're gonna, after X amount of time, you're gonna get a promotion to being on TV. Like that's not that's not how that works. Like there are so many variables and there's so much nuance to all of everything that you do, right? And that's one of my favorite things about having wrestlers on the podcast in general, because I feel like you professional wrestlers have to deal with so much psychology, even just in storytelling, that you, without even knowing it, are cerebral, that you are tapped into the zeitgeist, the thoughts of the audience, that you don't realize that it even makes you tapped in not only to yourself at times,
Mhm.
but you're tapped into the world around you because you see it through this different lens, right? You have this different view. So that's one of the things I love about having professional wrestlers on the podcast. Not to say I wouldn't have anybody else, because I do get other people who are going to be coming on the podcast, but one thing I love is when we try to get into these, like when it comes to, normally my show, we do half an hour or so talking about wrestling, and then it slowly turns into just like the rest of the stuff, right? And it's such an easy transition because wrestlers are always thinking about the psychology. Maybe they're going, whether it's, simple psychology 101 stuff, or you're going back and watching 75 tapes of Jake the Snake Roberts every day because you want to see what it's like to be subtle but still cook the
Right.
room, right? And that's one thing I just love about professional wrestling and professional wrestlers, just the profession, the whole profession in general. And I can't wait to be a part of it in whichever capacity is given to me at the time. So very exciting. I love that answer.
Awesome.
My next question is, when fans look back at your career years from now, what
Mhm.
do you hope they understand about your journey that might not have been obvious to anyone while it was happening?
That's a great question. I've gotten it a few times, and I didn't really have an answer at first, but the more I was asked it, the more I sort of realized. I think what I want people, not just fans, but like other wrestlers or promoters or really anyone who works with me, what I want them to understand about me is that I don't have an off switch, and that I give 100% effort and dedication to everything I've ever done in the professional wrestling business, right? Which doesn't necessarily always get reflected, and maybe you don't always see it or understand it, right? Because a lot of the stuff that gets highlighted is like, oh, are you on this pay-per-view, or are you getting signed to this company? Did you work on this? Did you win this championship? Right? That's the stuff that people see, and they go, oh, he's succeeded, he's done something. I want people to look back at my work over the course of time, and even if you're just watching some random throwaway match in front of 10 people, or if you're watching me wrestle on a big WWE premium live event at Madison Square Garden in front of 20,000 people, I want you to see that no matter what it was, I gave all of my effort. I gave 100% of my dedication, both physically and mentally, to the business of professional wrestling, because I don't have any other way to do it. And frankly, in terms of the way that the business is constructed, that's not the advice that I would give students or give other people, because it's not like a great way to succeed in professional wrestling. There's probably going to come a time where I look back and I say, oh, if I had taken it a little easier on these shows that didn't matter as much, I probably could have wrestled a little longer on these shows that do matter a little more. But the reality is I don't have that mindset, and I don't have that ability. So I hope that when people look back on it, they recognize that and realize that, and uh, understand that that's the only way that I knew how to do this. And that's not just in the ring. That's for anything that I do. That's for any promo that I've ever done, or any time I've ever spoken or designed a character or thought about designing my gear or anything like that. I give 100% thought and dedication to everything that I do. And I don't know any other way to do it. So I hope that people one day are able to sort of see that and recognize it.
See, and I have to appreciate that answer because that's who I am as a person. So to hear somebody, especially like you, say that out loud, like to me, that's comforting in a way, because when I do something, I have to give you everything I have. Otherwise, to me, what's the point, right?
Right.
Either you do it or you don't do it. So if
Mhm.
I'm going to do it, I'm going to give you everything I have. Even if everything I have isn't very good, okay, but you're
And
still going to get it.
sometimes it isn't. Sometimes I look at my performance and I say that wasn't the best decision, or maybe I should have done this or spoken to this person or whatever, and that's okay. I don't look back at anything I have with like regret is a really funny word. Because there's certainly times where I look back and I say, ooh, if I had done this, I probably would have got better results. But I never look back and say that, oh, I regret the way that I did something, because I did it with full force. I did it with 100% dedication and commitment at that time. And to me, that's important to me. It's important to me that I never sat back and said, oh, what if? How should I go about this? Or I was never hesitant about anything. And if that cost me, that cost me. And maybe that was the wrong decision. That's okay. I can live with the wrong decision if I do it with my full spirit and my full force behind it. So that's kind of how I look back at everything that I've done.
See, man, we're talking the same language right now. And there's been so many times when I was a lot younger where I was terrified and afraid of doing something. And
Yep.
it's funny, I'm going to admit this right now in front of JJ, but I used to have this huge crush on this girl in high school. Huge crush on this girl, right? And I was like, oh, she's a cheerleader. She's like the most popular girl in school. There's no way I could ever date her. And years later, we have found her on Facebook. And I'm a little older now. I'm a little wiser. You know, I got a haircut. I'm looking good. I'm looking okay. So I messaged her and I was like, you know, I had the biggest thing for you back in the day. And she's like, oh, really? You should have asked me out. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, nobody ever asked me out back then. If you asked me out, I probably would have just said yes. And I was like, ah. And this is honestly one of the reasons why I just put everything in it, because that's the fear of missing out on something, missing out on an opportunity I should have taken. I would rather I tried it, I gave it everything I had, and it didn't work out. I would rather
Absolutely.
take that road. I would rather fail terribly. There's probably been a million times in the last 20 years where I've called up one of my brothers. I got like 9 brothers. And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm going to try this thing. And they're like, you're crazy. It's not going to work. And sure enough, it didn't work out. But I don't regret trying because I gave it everything I had. So
No. And that's a very common theme in professional wrestling. You will hear no, and you will hear no quite a bit. And I
right.
still hear no quite a bit. I get 1,000 no's for every yes, and that's okay, because you get comfortable with rejection, because it means that you're trying, right?
Yeah.
If you weren't trying, then you're comfortable with no rejection, but you'll never get the results. You'll never get the yes. So
Exactly. All right. Well, JJ, you got the last question.
What would you like to say to all the kids who
that's a great question. I would like to say thank you for the support. I'd like to say thank you for giving me your time and attention, because I know that is something that could be given anywhere to anything. And I know that there's a lot of options, especially now. Back when I was a kid, there was less options, but now you can watch literally anything at any time. So whenever somebody, especially a child or someone younger than me, gives that time and that attention to me and my performance, I'm very gracious and I'm very humbled by that. And I hope that people can use me as a source of inspiration. Maybe not in terms of like a character per se, because I never if someone does, great, right? I'm not gonna fault you for that. At the end of the day, most of the time I play a bad guy, so that's probably not gonna be. People aren't gonna be like, I hope to, kidnap and torture someone someday, which was a thing I did on television. I kidnapped Ilya Dragunov and tortured him.
Right.
So I don't want people to like look at me as a source of inspiration for that.
Sure.
But yeah, just in terms of my journey and the things that I've done, if it's someone who likes sports or likes football or likes basketball, but they're also a pro wrestling fan and they're trying to figure out how to navigate that, or if they like teaching or things like that, or if it's someone who comes from my neck of the woods, whether it's Massachusetts or New England or something like that, and they use that and they're able to see themselves in my shoes and see where I came from and see where I still am. I still live here in New England, so I hope that people are able to see that and use that as a source of inspiration to say that they can go out and pursue something and commit to it. And even if you don't have all the success in the world, you can still say that you tried it and that you're happy with what you do, because I am happy. And I did have some success. Did I achieve all the things that I wanted to do in professional wrestling? No, I didn't. And am I just like hanging it up and saying that I'm done? No, I still have those goals and I still have those dreams and I'm still working hard towards doing them, and I still believe in myself and I still believe in my heart that I'm the best professional wrestler on planet Earth, and I'm going to continue to work hard and strive towards proving that and achieving that. And I hope that other people see that journey and respect that journey and aspire to attempt to do the same thing, even in the face of difficulty, even in the face of rejection.
Beautiful answers. Beautiful
Thank
answer.
you.
Wonderful answer. Also, I have to throw it in there. I love being a New Englander. Oh man, we are
Me
so
too.
we are so spoiled for wrestling right now. It is
Yep.
insane. There are so many wrestling companies. It's to the point where a Friday night comes and you're like, "There's 5 options. 5
There is.
options. We could go to any one of
To
them."
the one option if it's
Well,
the-
chaotic comes first. That's
Yeah.
what she's saying.
Sure.
Chaotic comes first.
There was even I think WWE just did a house show in Worcester, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
We
There's
were
a lot
there.
a lot of my friends
Yeah.
were in town for that one, maybe Saturday night. I'm not sure exactly when it
Yes.
was.
I wish we didn't go.
Yes, we actually did go to that one.
Oh, you did go.
We did go. Yeah, we did go to that one.
Did you have fun?
I wore my Rich Palladino shirt. It was at the DCU Center.
Yeah.
There was actually a bunch of the usual suspects that we see at most of the wrestling shows that were there.
Usual.
Some wrestlers. There was a bunch of wrestlers we saw there. There was a bunch
Awesome.
of wrestling fans. Well, we saw other people. We saw their posting on the internet as well from their
Yeah.
seats. But she was very much wishing we had gone to Connecticut instead to see Shannon Levangie win a title. But to be fair, that's
Oh,
a
you
good
don't even know what
question.
it was.
She just won the Now title. I want to say it was. She beat
Yeah.
Roxanne Fury
Oh, okay.
for the title.
He said that what if she wins? We were walking up to like the doors, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Don't tell me that. If it happens, I will cry because I wouldn't
Right.
be there."
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, no,
So,
the
Now. It was Now versus Shannon Levangie successfully defeated and dethroned Roxanne Fury as she was crowned the new women's champion at Now. The
Gotcha.
New Order Wrestling, and it was down in, I want to say it was
Ooh.
Connecticut. And to be fair, when I purchased the Worcester tickets for the DCU Center, that show did not have a Shannon Levangie on it for the title. To be fair, and we obviously love Shannon. She's been on the podcast, so we
Yeah.
have a Shanny. We have a Shanny who's relentless as well. Okay,
Yep.
we love Shannon. They now have matching bracelets, Shanny and Shannon.
Nice.
But yeah, I thought of it in my head. I shouldn't have said it out loud. And fortunately for Shannon, it came true, and she did win the title.
Yeah.
I saw it during the show, and I went,
Yeah, during the show, she was on the phone
Oh,
like,
no.
"Yeah."
Well, I hope you had a fun time regardless. That arena is the first ever show that I went to. I went to SmackDown in the year 2000, so 26 years ago. I went to SmackDown there. I got to see The Rock wrestle in that building. It's a tremendous building. I go all the time now, not for wrestling, but I actually never got to wrestle there, which I was always kind of bummed about
Really?
because WWE just didn't do a lot of shows there for a long time. But yeah, I was able. I still bring my kids to go to Disney on Ice. They like Disney on Ice there. We see the monster truck shows all the time, Monster Jam there all the time. But yeah, hopefully one day I get to wrestle there. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing. I feel like I've seen more hockey there than wrestling, to be fair.
I did see a lot of Worcester Ice Cats there when I was young. I've been to that building probably 150 times throughout my life. Never once got to wrestle in it though. I did get to wrestle in a lot of cool places though, so I'm not too bummed
Yeah.
about that piece of my career.
Right. Just you'll get the home turf eventually, right?
Hopefully.
Right. Well, that was incredible. Once again, thank you so much for being on the show. I know we ran
Awesome.
over time a little bit.
No worries.
But this was incredible. This was amazing. As I like to always make sure to show a plug. Make
thank
sure,
you.
guys, you go on Whatnot. Make sure you go to BST.
Yep.
I actually had, the funny thing is when we got out of the show, it's very, very ironic, and I had it, and I left it in my pocket and it went through the wash. Otherwise, I was going to show you today. When we walked out of the show, the first
Yeah.
person at the door handed me a photo of you,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and it was an advertisement for your upcoming next title defense. And I was going to show it on the podcast and be like, hey guys, look at his next title defense at BST.
Gotcha.
And unfortunately, I washed it. Now my pocket's full of granules, which is just my luck. I was like, finally washed it. But yeah, it's Rebel Spirit, all that stuff.
Mhm. Yep.
Once again, guys, make sure to check it out. Hopefully we see you some more times at Chaotic, because it'd be nice to see that
Absolutely.
strap back on you. No shade to Mortar. I love Mortar, but it'd be cool to see the strap back on you. I know you already got a couple of gold hardwares, but still, that would
Thank
be fun.
you.
So thank you so much for your time. We very much appreciate it.
Absolutely.
For anyone who is watching, make sure you check us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. The very next podcast is going to be The Good Doctor Landon Hale.
Oh, awesome.
Upcoming is going to be the one and only Armani Chaos.
Nice.
And still in the work, we have the Don Dada, the Shot Kala, Patrick Saint. So
Heck
those
yeah.
are the next ones that are confirmed. And I'm very excited for Landon Hale just because he's done some cool stuff. So I know we're excited for Armani too. Armani's cool. But to be fair,
Amazing.
from now until then, Landon Hale is first. So I take it one step. And we're also, oh my God, we can say this. I was actually approached by a few people to ask me to be on the podcast. And he did an entire video about his life and so Justin has Jambone Productions, and he has a project out called The Match to Kill. He did a documentary about his 15-year wrestling career, and he is going to be coming on the podcast as well. And it's a great little match to kill, a great little thing. But I had to make sure to plug it there. It's been winning some random awards here and there at different film festivals all across the nation. So Justin will be on the podcast with me. I think the documentary is going to be a little rough for the JJ there. So it's a little R-rated type thing, but
Sure.
more of a horror story than it is a wrestling thing. But it's a documentary about his life and career. So
Awesome.
make sure everybody to get some Dijak gear. Don't forget to feast your eyes. Okay. All right. So
Thank you very much.
thank you so much for your time, sir, and you have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.